And there's a story about why we're standing together besides the fact that I wouldn't be able to stand up here by myself. And it's always good to have sisters doing things together. Buffy St. Marie, as you know, is a beautiful, strong Cree woman from Saskatchewan who is an outstanding star of our time. She is a woman of our time now and a woman that we need probably more than ever. She is an acclaimed artist, a songwriter, a musician, a composer, an Academy and Juno Award winner, and a beautiful visual artist. She is an educator and a tireless social activist for many decades, and a philanthropist. How did it come to be that we in London, Ontario would be so fortunate to have Buffy here with us today? Well, when we began to vision this conference some years ago, Don Young said to me, "Do you know who we really need to have? And that's Buffy St. Marie." And I leapt out of my chair because she's been a heroine of mine forever. So off we went to a concert at Aeolian Hall, and I must mention Clark Bryan at Aeolian Hall, who has helped us every step of the way. And we were like groupies. At the end of the concert, we went from the stage door to the back, and they kept trying to keep us out, and we wouldn't be kept out. And then, I don't know how we did it, but we found our way into the inner sanctuary. And poor Buffy, she must have thought two crazy women were there, because with wild eyes we said, "We think we're putting on a conference in a few years. And if we do, we really, really, really need you there." And she said, "Oh, cool, okay." I don't even know if she remembers that. But since that time, many messages and many things have conspired together to help make this happen. Not the least of which is that I have a daughter who lives and works in Dawson City, Yukon, and Buffy was playing at their very famous folk festival this summer. My daughter works in a hotel, and who should she serve one day but Buffy St. Marie? So I came home that night from work, and there's this message on my answering machine, "Mom, you'll never guess who's in the hotel and who just ordered a chicken wrap." And I believe my daughter also spoke to her about it. "You have to go to London, they're putting on this conference." Buffy has won so many awards and honors, too many for me to mention here, for her music and for her work in education and in social activism. She recently was awarded the Order of Canada, and she has numerous honorary degrees. In recent years, she's become a very gifted digital artist, and I would encourage you to go on her website and to look at that. You may know of her Cradleboard teaching project, which is devoted to improving Native and American students participate in learning. It's become a world-class model of an educational project, and it's reached out across all nations. Most importantly, I think she has been a steadfast heroine and a source of inspiration for many, many individuals, for many communities, and for many social movements. I think she wrote the book on what does social activism look like with beauty, grace, and dignity. She went through a very interesting time in the 60s. She demonstrated great courage, hope, and conviction. She spoke out numerous times against violence, war, and social injustice, and she wrote what became the anthem of all times of the peace movement, which we need today, and that was Universal Soldier. Her integrity and courage were further demonstrated during a period of time in the 60s and 70s when she and many other artists were suppressed by the government, by the White House. They felt that she was too dangerous, too controversial, and that she would stir people up. You go, sister. That's what we need now. In spite of this blackout period, and in fact, musical stations were forbidden to play her music. Her music almost disappeared from popular airplay, and what did she do? She went to the people. She went from community to community and sang and spoke at numerous community events and campuses. She understood always what it means to be connected to the community and to the grassroots movement. She was told that it was not fashionable to talk about these issues, and in particular, don't speak about Native issues and nonviolence, and limit herself to celebrity chit-chat, but instead she stayed true to herself and to her values and to her beliefs. Resilience is the word that comes to my mind when I think of her. She appeared wherever people were, and during that blackout period, in fact, was prolific, producing 18 albums, 3 television specials, scored numerous movies, and had international acclaim. During this time, she also toured the world, raised her son as a single parent, and earned a PhD, won an Academy and Golden Globe Award. Oh my goodness. Now, probably more than ever, we need Buffy. We need you, Buffy. We need your courage, your truth, your creativity, your resilience, your strength, your wisdom, and maybe most important of all, we need your beauty. The beauty and the hope and inspiration that you grace us. We are so grateful to have you here, Buffy St. Mary.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the Creator for this day when good people come together to make things better. It needs to be done. I thank our Creator for our safe journey here, for our health on this day, when we share with each other. I hope we learn from each other so that we all take back to our communities the rare, unique, and individual experiences that come from us in all our different sisterhoods and the brothers who help us. I'm really honored to be here, and I want to know that, like many of our sisters taking part in this conference, I'm here to learn. This is a very tough issue, and we're all looking for solutions. I'm not sure what I can add to the conversation. It might be that I'm just here for comic relief. But I'm humbled to be among such a diverse group of experienced people in this issue, with real experience in the streets and in the classrooms, in the cities, on reserves, and in rural communities. In the 1960s, I was a young singer with too much money. I had the huge good fortune of having show business airplane tickets, which took me to the indigenous areas of the world. I had first-class hotel rooms in Paris and London and Hong Kong and every place you could think about. But when the shows were over, it became my great privilege to get in a truck or a car or a van or a plane and to, if I was in Stockholm, fly north and spend time with the Sami people, the indigenous people in Scandinavia, or in Australia, to spend time with Aboriginal people there. And these airplane tickets were a blessing for me because it connected my rural life and my city life, my show business life with the life of my heart, which was among people who are a little bit different from being on stage. So I came to respect both sides in a way that I'm really happy to share with you. And what I got to see in those times, I was just shocked. I was just shocked to see the discrepancies in wealth and poverty, and male and female, and the way some people are treated and the way some people treat others. You know, I was just shocked, and I'm still shocked. It still gets to me. In my opinion, when one has a billion and a billion have nothing, there's something wrong with that. How can one have a billion and a billion have nothing? That's why we're here today. This issue is bigger than women's homelessness. Thank God we're finally focusing on this part of it, but it's been like this for a long time, just about everywhere. And in my opinion, it's at the root of a lot of problems that we have today. I have lots of time in the friendly skies and very long car rides, sometimes through rural places, traveling around with a rock and roll band, so I have a lot of time to think about the world we live in, and I do. I think about it. My trips from home always start with 5.5 hours in an airplane, and that's just to get to the west coast of of North America. I live in Hawaii. So thinking about these issues is kind of always there. I like traveling. I get to see people from all over the place, you know, people I would never otherwise get to meet, and I think it's kind of broadening, you know, it really teaches you all the time. And some entertainers, you know, we lead such unscheduled lives among very diverse people that the average 9-to-5 person never encounters, and that can really open your head and open your heart. But sometimes it's, you know, every day is different, every minute is new, and sometimes it truly is shocking. I haven't been among people dealing specifically with homelessness very much, but I have been around the globe, and as I see it, the same causes of the world's troubles seem to stem from these same roots. The bad parts of colonialism have affected indigenous people in many parts of the big world. Many parts of the big world. It's the same in Australia for Aboriginal people as it has been in North America and is at the top of the world in Scandinavia. You know, for such a long time, indigenous people in local areas were, well, you know, you just can't make it. You know, you guys are you're just too small. You're just not educated enough. No, no. That's not what you focus on. You focus on the colonialism that impairs the world everywhere. It's still around. Greed, abuse of power. In a nutshell, bad leadership. Bad leadership. People in alternative places in the world who have suffered from colonialism, they know what it's about. But look at us today. The same bad leadership that keeps impoverished people impoverished, what's happening with the middle class? See? Eventually, bad leadership, greed, abuse of power, it trickles down. Even white people are affected. Even middle-class people are affected. There's a song on our new album called No No Keshagesh. Keshagesh is a Cree word. It's a Canadian word, so I have to teach you. Keshagesh literally means greedy guts. And it's used in a playful way. It's a big old rock and roll song, right? We'll do it tomorrow night. But it's a playful word. And it's based on an experience in my own life of being at home on the res, and we used to have a puppy, and he'd eat his own, and then he'd want everybody